So, Chris, why don't you talk for a second about the recommended amount of mail? What does it cost to mail? How many leads you should mail to get a really good kind of litmus test of your results?
Yeah, absolutely. So once you kind of put your list together, either you bought your list, you compiled your list of vacant houses. Next step is sending out letters. Now, whenever I go into a new area, my kind of target, what I want to send out is right around 2,000, either letters or postcards. Normally postcards is kind of that test. And really why I do that is I found that sending out 2,000 postcards, normally we get somewhere around a 3% response rate. Now, a 3% response rate ends up, 60 phone calls? And I've found that it typically takes us around 40 to 50 phone calls coming in order for us to get a deal. So I know that if I send out 2,000, most likely I'm going to get around 60 phone calls. So I know there should be a deal within those 40 or so phone calls. So that's why I do that, and that's why I test out that many. If you send out, say, only 500 at a 3% response rate, you're getting, 15 phone calls or so. That's really not enough of a sample size to determine if that mailing campaign is effective or not. So that's why you need to expand your list. And for you, it's gonna take time, depending on your area. That target you want to send to, it might be 4,000. One of my friends in San Francisco, he sends out a minimum of 10,000. And he says that's what it takes to get him a deal, is around 10,000 postcards.
Yep. I mean, if you send 10,000 postcards out, guys, and just using 50 cents per postcard as your cost for putting it together, getting it out, the guy's spending $5,000. But if he acquires one house in San Francisco, which is one of the most expensive real estate markets in the U.S., how much money is he going to make? 60 grand, probably minimum. 100 grand, maybe minimum.
Probably, yeah.
So it's worth $5,000 to make 60 grand, 100 grand or more. So guys, start with postcards because it's quick, down and dirty, easy. Chris uses a program called Click to Mail. We'll walk you through that in a second. Here's an example of some of the other postcards or letters that we've done. Chris's is on the right, mine's on the left. And this is another sample that, Dione sends out this letter. He just moved his license over to RE/MAX. So, hey, I'm an agent with RE/MAX Realty, and I have a cash buyer who wants to buy your house at such and such a property. Please call me. Thanks, Dione. And so the traffic comes right to him. He takes the phone call, books the appointment for himself, and off he goes. All right? Again, yellow letters are great, but they're about $1 to $1.50 per letter. Postcards are more like 50 cents a postcard. You can do a lot more damage that way and get a pulse for your market. So there's a lot of different services. Freedom Soft offers direct mail services. RealFlow offers direct mail services. Find Motivated Sellers Now offers direct mail services. But Click to Mail has always kind of been in your wheelhouse. What's Click to Mail and how does that work?
Click to Mail is just a service that you can pretty much upload your postcard templates, do whatever. And I've just found that over the years they are the easiest, most reliable, and I've never had one problem with them, and also the most affordable. I think it's 43 cents, somewhere around there. I know I have 48 cents on there, but I think it's 43 cents per postcard. I use the 4.25 by 6. I always send yellow with black lettering, so yeah, there's pretty much the postcard that I send, but I do it in yellow. Just a nice little postcard, and that's all in your book if you guys want to rip that off and use it, test it out, customize it for what the target, who you're sending it to and your business.
So a couple things I really like about Chris's postcard that increases response. If you look at the lower half, that's the one side of the postcard, which is the urgent notice. But in the upper left-hand corner, that gets customized. So flip this card over for an immediate message regarding your vacant property at and their address. Okay, so it goes right on the front of the postcard. Call me today with my phone number. Right now in the bottom left, for those of you that are realtors, Chris has his realtor disclosure, which is required. Hey, if your house is already listed with a realtor, this is not a solicitation of your listing. That's in the bottom left. But then the top half, what I like about it is not only is it saying I want to buy a house in your neighborhood, where it says I recently drove by your house, right? I was driving around the other day, so it sounds really personal. I was driving around the other day and noticed that your house caught my eye and noticed that it might be vacant. I'll make you an all-cash offer. But the next line is key. Just so you know, this postcard is going out to X amount of people in your area, and I'm going to only be able to buy one property. Again, that's one of the sales tactics or marketing tactics, is creating a sense of urgency, right? And a sense of having scarcity. It's going out to a lot of people, and I can only buy one house. So if you're interested, make sure you respond today, right? Because you might call me back in a week, and I don't have any money left over, right? That definitely increases response big time. So start with that postcard. I would start with the vacant house list, either in Find Motivated Sellers Now, or the absentee owner list in flipmyrealestatelyst.com. That's where you start. You send out 2,000. It's going to cost you about $1,000, and you're going to get a deal or two. And that deal, you decide what you want to do with it. Do you want to wholesale it and make $4,000 to $6,000? Or do you want to buy it, use freelance money or your own private lender money, rehab the house and sell it and make 30, 40, 50 grand? Okay, that's one strategy, again, that will work in virtually every market with the list we've already mentioned. You can get up and running right now and do it, and then in the next 30 to 60 days, have a deal that's under contract that you've closed.